Hello everyone, I'm Chen Shi. Today I'm so glad to share my project proposal to you all. My project title is Social Integration of Students with Special Educational Needs in Regular Class in Chinese Primary School, a case study. First, I would like to share the background of my project. In 1994, the State Education Commission in China officially published the policy 全年随班就读, which means learning in regular classroom. Though accepting children with disabilities, most of schools are merely placing the SEN students in regular class with few specific supporting. So, to what extent are the children with SEN socially integrated in regular classroom aroused my willingness to examine. So, my research question is conducted as: are students with SEN socially integrated in the regular class? If so, to what extent are the SEN students socially integrated in the regular class? And my project is going to fill two research gaps. Firstly, since field studies concentrate on the social integration of the SEN children in regular class in Chinese context, my project is going to fill this gap. And secondly, the research on social integration of SEN students are usually quantitative studies. So, my qualitative research is likely to unfold a deeper, more precise and descriptive situation. And here comes to the purpose and significance of my project. There are mainly three components. Firstly, the results of study are going to let parents know the situation for SEN students integrate in regular class, which gives some information for the parents who want to know the situation better. And secondly, the findings of the study are going to arouse the awareness of both teachers and schools on paying attention to the exceptional kids. Last but not least, the findings are going to shed light for Chinese government to better know the situation of social integration of SEN students in regular class, which helps the government to make a reflection on the policy of learning in regular class. And now, I would like to introduce the literature reviewed of my project. Firstly, I would like to say something about the definition of SEN students. Based on literature, the Scholar Group in 1993 and Deng and Pei in 2009 consider SEN students like this. In China, students with mental retardation, visual impairments, and hearing impairments are three major targets of special educational needs, since they occupy the largest population of students with disabilities in China. And here, I would like to say the social integration based on my review of literature. The sociologist Durkheim first came up with the concept of social integration in his book Suicide in 1897. Durkheim suggests that social integration refers to a certain level of attachment to the groups of people. Well, for the reason that inclusive education has been fast developing these years, so more and more scholars introduce the concept of social integration to the research articles in this area. Like Mahant in 2000 suggests that social integration for people with disabilities refers to building relationships, being part of the community, and remodeling quality of life. So, what about social integration of SEN students? Based on the literature, there are mainly three ideas of social integration of SEN students, and different scholars consider different components of social integration. Well, first, Cullinan, College, and Talbot consider social integration of SEN students as a member of a group having a friendship and interact with peers positively. Similarly, Vincent and Anita consider peer acceptance and peer interaction is of essential role of social integration, and also they consider participating in social activities and develop connected relationships with peers are important component. Goronick in 1999 have similar but different idea. He measures social integration in three aspects: extent of peer interactions, quality of peer relationships, and adaptation that occurred during social exchange. Based on the literature, I analyze and make the conclusion. So the conceptual framework is conducted as three components: interaction with peers, acceptance by peers, and have at least a friendship. Based on this conceptual framework, I conduct the sub-questions of this research. There are three. Firstly, do students with SEN have interaction with their peers? If so, to what extent do SEN students interact with their peers? Secondly, are students with SEN accepted by their peers? If so, to what extent are SEN students accepted by their peers? And last, to what extent do SEN students have at least one friend in class? And here is the part research methodology. The study is going to investigate the contemporary situation of social integration of SEN students in regular class. Besides, the results of study are planned to present for a wide audience who concerned with the topic. So, qualitative case study is adopted as the research approach in this research. And in terms of the selection of school, according to data, around 700 schools in Guangzhou, China accept SEN students in regular class. This case study focuses on a primary school in Guangzhou, China, which is one of the schools which implement the policy of learning in regular class. So, as being one of these schools, this study is likely to generate from a single instance. And based on information, there are about 4 classes include SEN students in the selection school. And here comes to the part data collection procedures. The sampling used in the study is purposive sampling. 4 class teachers of the regular class which contain SEN students are the key objects of interview, since they are the people who know about the class situation best. Besides, 4 subject teachers who teach in this class will also be the interview object. And semi-structured interview is the main data collection tool adopted in the study. The 8 teacher will be constructed in the face-to-face and 20-minute interview in this project. And here is the interview guide for teacher. Cause time limited, I don't read for you and you can have a look. And last, I would like to say something about reliability and validity of my project. Well, the method of data triangulation will be adopted in the study. The participants of interview consist of not only the class teachers, but also the subject teacher for data triangulation. And also, semi-structured interview is adopted, aiming to give the interviewees equal and comfortable communication, which can reflect a methodology concern and improve the validity of my project. And this is the plan of my project. And here comes to the end of my project proposal presentation. Thank you for you all, and if you have any suggestions and comments, please tell me, and I'm so looking forward to learn from all of you. Thank you.